Okay, guys. Um, what I'm doing today is making beef stew, and I've already started cutting up my roast and separating the meat from the fat. And if you're gonna make this recipe, you want to get it in um, close to cubes as you can, and you want to take out. Um, if you have a fatty roast, you want to take out a lot of that fat. That fat's not good for you. And this roast is pre-seasoned. That's why this part is like brownish, because I had left it in the seasoning like almost all day. I'd rather have roast than stew meat, because stew meat, I don't know where it comes from, but roast, you know where the chuck comes from. Okay. And then I've been requested to show what my food looks like at the end. And these are some great tips. Thank you, guys. Okay. So on the side of me, he can start showing you I have about 8 cups of boiling water that I started boiling. On the other side, I have a skillet cooking that I have about 2 tablespoons of canola oil. You can use canola or vegetable. I have some flour here. I'm gonna use flour to shake the meat in. I have some tomato paste, about a cup to a cup and a half of frozen peas, and then I have some diced up potatoes here that are not not oxidized. I cut them, peeled them, rinsed them, or rinsed them, peeled them, cut them, and they look like that, and they're over in the water. Okay. Okay. So this meat has been seasoned already, and it's gonna just go on any kind of plate for you to get it over to the stove. So I gotta keep it low. Okay, I got that. With this hot skillet here, I'm gonna turn it back on. We're gonna take one of these, and we're gonna shake our flour into it. So what I need to do is get some all-purpose flour and a big Ziploc bag, or a big hefty bag, and just put just a little flour in there, about this much. Okay. Now you can season this. You can choose not to. You can do however you want. My meat is seasoned, but I'm going to do a little bit of seasoning in the flour. I'm going to start taking these pieces of beef and dropping them in the flour. So you can take as much as you want. It's all going to have to get coated. So I'm going to put about maybe half of the beef in the bag and seal it up and shake it. Just a second. Gotta keep my hands clean. Can I get a clean up over there, please? And I'm gonna just shake it. See how it shake. And then you can open it up and put the other half in. So and then shake it again. And when this is hot and ready, it's very hot, you're going to start dropping your pieces of meat in. Okay, so you don't want this to turn into like a gravy or anything. You just want to shake your meat off and sit them in there like this. And you want to put them all over everywhere. Now the flour is going to do 2 things. It's going to help thicken up your sauce for your beef stew. So it's kind of creating a roux, and you don't even know it. The other thing it's doing, you don't want to put too much flour in there. The other thing it's doing is going to create a crust on your meat. And your meat is going to have that crust to it, and it's going to be soft and tender. So I'm going to go ahead and do this. just getting extra flour in there. Try not to get as much flour. I can fix it because I've been doing it for a while. In this 8 cups of boiling water, you want to take your carrots. I don't even know if he showed you carrots at the beginning, but you're going to take all your carrots and you're going to put them in that boiling water now that you got your meat cooked. Okay? So, I'm going to take my carrots from the plate. I'm just going to put them in the boiling water, which is on the other eye boiling. And that's because we want them to get kind of soft. And these pieces of meat are cooking really well, and you want them to come out like that. You see how that looks? But you see how much meat we have. So my take on this is, I guess they call it par cooking or pre-cooking. So I'm looking for my big spoon, which I don't know where it's at. Here. Okay, so this is gonna go over in your, where your carrots are boiling in. Automatically, they just go over there. Okay? And you're gonna keep on doing that until everything is done. Now, let me see. Some of this flour gotta come off of here because that's not right. I'm just going to set it back on this plate that I already have. Try to get some of it out of there because that will burn and make a color that you don't want. It's going to be too bright. Okay, I'm going to go back in my reserves. Now this, you'll have, just make sure you have oil in here. Got my meat in my strainer now, and I took off a lot of that excess flour. And then we're going to do about maybe just one more batch. Get all that cooked up good like that. Make sure it's down there. Don't do this. Do not use your hands. I'm used to this. Don't use your hands, please. So I'm going to come back to this meat and start turning it over. I'm going to stir it up. Because I can't. I'm telling you, I need it an easy way. I want you to just get the gist of what I'm doing. Now, if you need to sit there and turn everyone over, that's what you need to do. Be my guest. But I just need to get it cooked. So, that's what I'm doing. Okay. So, how's everybody out there doing? Good, I hope. If you have any questions, just let me know below. I'm going to go ahead and just throw half of my onions, like a handful, in there because it flavors it. I have a handful of onions. I'm going to throw them in there, and then I'm going to put the rest in the top. Okay? So this meat is about done and about ready to go in. And you don't want to cook it to death. This is rare on the inside. Okay? Throw it on over there. Okay, so this is the last batch. I'm going to just spread. And then pour the rest of the meat and spread it out. Don't want it to be touching when it's cooking, but you don't want to take all day either. I got my onions sitting back here, and I'm going to just throw them on the side. Now I put half in that pot for the flavor of the stew, and then this part is going to go in to help me soften the onions up just a little bit. Because after this, there's not going to be many more steps. Okay. Now that was my old gravy on top of there. more oil to help with the softening. Help that soften up. And then you just do this stir. So all this is going to go right over into your pot. And then we'll switch over. Stop it. Over in this pot, don't get it too close. We have the meat, the cooked onions, the raw onions, and we're going to go ahead and have the potatoes in the pot. I'm going to pour them in the colander or the strainer, so that needs to go in and let them drain off. Now the peas are going to be very, 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 very last. You don't want to put the peas in. The peas are going to go on top maybe about 15 or 20 minutes before. And before you throw those in, everything has to be in. You don't want to make a mistake.
Somebody's calling.
Okay, so when it's this color, before you put anything else in, you're going to take some of your tomato paste. And that's about a half a can. You're going to put it in there. And get it loose. Get it loose. Okay, so stir it in. You can check for your color. It's a little bit lighter than I wanted. I'm going to add a little bit more. So about 2 to 2.5 tablespoons so far. Get that loosened up. Make sure I got it. Okay, so I have the potatoes. Now, lay those on top. And give it a stir. This is gonna cook. I do not like the color. It's gonna get darker. You may have to have more liquid. It just depends on how thick it gets. But right now we're gonna leave it right here and we're gonna cover it. Now the last thing that we're going to do to it is take a taste before we cover it. Because we're checking for our salt, we're checking for other flavors. Just to take a taste. It's already starting to get thick. Look how it's coating the spoon. Okay, so this is a little bit of salt. It tastes totally bland. I'm going to add just a little bit of salt. And I'm going to top it off with some black pepper. Give it a stir. Tomato paste is not loose enough. And then you're going to let this come to a boil. I think it's getting thick pretty quick, so I'm going to add another one of those 1.5 cup containers of water. Just because I don't want it to get so thick where it starts to stick. You gotta watch it because it's got flour and tomato paste and it will scorch. Okay, so this is a 1.5 cups, and I had 8 cups in there. And we're gonna try to let it come up to a boil. Take the taste again. I'm gonna season again. No more pepper. And I'm gonna look for a bay leaf. That's bay leaf. Just one big one. If you got little ones, use one little one, two little ones. Put it in there. Now, before you serve this, your bay leaf is gonna come out. And I just add this bay leaf at the end because I don't want it that potent. And plus, it's gonna cook for another about hour, hour and a half, maybe even 2. The longer you let it cook, the better it is. That meat is gonna get tender. Potatoes, carrots, everything's gonna get tender. And you don't, this is not something that you rush. But at the end of it, you're going to go ahead and add your peas on the top. Your peas make a good color and add excellent vitamins. You can add your, what you color your gravy with, if you use a color for your gravy. The tang that I talked about is the tang from the tomato product. Anytime you use a tomato product, you have to use like a sweetener to offset the, taste, and it gives it a good balance. So you don't want it sweet. You don't want it sweet. Remember, don't use a bunch. Rubber spatula. Go in with rubber or wood, or if you have like a thick plastic one, just go on the bottom and get that all up off of there. Okay? And you want to come back, make sure that bay leaf stays down in there, because that's a part of your seasoning. I hate white sugar, so I have a little bit of organic brown sugar, and I'm just going to take about a half a tablespoon. Now, you don't want much. You got to know your own sweeteners or your own whatever you use. So I use some organic brown. Put it in there, just about a half of that tablespoon, and take the tang or the twang out of my beef stew, the tomato product. Got a little browning to it. I'm just going to use about the same amount of sugar that I use just to give it a little bit more seasoning. And it'll also make that brown for you that you want. And everything that you need to make this finished seasoning this is in this pack. So you may not have to use any more seasoning at all. But you constantly want to, take a spoonful out and blow it, taste it. It's gonna thicken up my taste. It's gonna, that au jus is good with beef. It's for beef actually, and it's also gonna help brown my pot. I don't like that red color. There we go. It's getting, see how it's browning? There we go. Okay, so, and then we want to put a lid on this, and about 15 or 20 minutes before it's done, we're going to add your peas. Don't forget to keep stirring. You're going to keep stirring this as it cooks. It's getting thick. I feel it on the bottom. Kitchen bouquet or kitchen, not actual gravy, but like gravy mix. It just gives it a brown color. It helps it get brown.